Hi friends, today we're going to read about the Mr. Cooks. Start with Mr. Strong. Mr. Strong is very strong. Mr. Strong is very strong. Mr. Strong is strong. Mr. Strong is very strong indeed. Mr. Strong is strong. He's so strong that he can take a Mr. Dance. What's so cool about that? I hear you say. Well, Mr. Strong can take out Mr. Dancing on his friend Mr. Greedy. And in fact, Mr. Strong is so strong that he can take out Mr. Dancing on all his friends. Isn't that a joke? We're going to read about Mr. Silly. One day, Mr. Silly has eggs and custard for breakfast. Then he goes to plant a tree, but he doesn't have a hole for it. The nose one hand dress up doesn't have any holes either. So Mr. Silly walks all the way to Sickle land to find one there. But when he asks for her and Miss Gold's hand dress up, everyone laughs at him. Miss Gold then gives him a spade. Why give me a spade when he wanted a hoe? Asked Mr. Silly. Ridiculous, agrees Mr. Nonsense. Thank you. Going to read is Mr. Happy. Mr. Happy is happy fellow. One day, he sees Mr. grumbling as he pisses. So he offers to find him a happy hero and joy. Mr. Grumble tries giggling with Miss Giggles, playing with Mr. Ross, and playing practical jokes with Mr. Mischief, but he doesn't like any of them. Mr. Happy runs out of ideas, and even Mr. Costco can't think of Happy that Mr. Grumble enjoy. But then Mr. Happy cracks it. Listen, he says, because you grumble and you fuss. You're right, Mr. Grumble agrees. I love grumbling, so listen to Happy for me. Thank you. We have to do a last two books. Start with Mr. Dog. Well, everybody has little accidents, but nobody has quite as many little accidents as Mr. Dog. It is hard to come to. Mr. Dog is so to come into it. It is hard to fall into. Mr. Dog is so to fall into it. But sometimes something can be fun. Look out, everyone! Here comes Mr. Dog! The next book we're going to read is Mr. Tickle. Mr. Tickle has two arms, but his arms aren't like yours or mine. He has extremely long arms. Long arms can get you in a terrible tangle, but they're excellent for tickling. And there's only one thing Mr. Tickle enjoys more than tickling a friend. Tickling lots of friends. Isn't that a joke? The last book, Mr. Messy. Well, we know that Mr. Messy is very messy. When it snows, he takes so away that's been lying in his gun for years. Ouch! Mr. Messy empties out his set to find his toad again. Of course he doesn't. Mr. Messy empties out his set to find his toad again. Of course he doesn't tidy the mess away afterwards. Mr. Messy makes everything dirty. The Farangis garden is filled with muggy footprints and a grumpy snowman. At the end of the day, Mr. Messy heads indoors and wipes his feet on his carpet. Thank you.